So I talked a little bit earlier about our strategy to continue to elevate our super ships, and we've got a couple in the works right now. Here's our lovely little logo that our gorgeous marketing team put together. And it is fabulous because to see these ships transformed the way they are being at the moment is very exciting for all of us in the brand and in the business. And let me show you a little bit about what we've got coming up in the next 12 months. Oh, no, it's not a slide there.
Keep going. Next one.
That's going to show you anyway. So here we go. So we're busy. Let me just talk you through those ship builds again. Launching in January, we have the SS Sphinx on the Nile, which I think is the first week of January. And we also have the SS Mekong Jewel in Vietnam and Cambodia on the Mekong River. Now those ships are being built in conjunction with our partners and we work in partnership in those regions because it is far better to do so in those locations than to have a company-owned ship. Same in Portugal, which is next. The Queen Isabel is going to be replaced with the, don't tell me, the SS São Gabriel. And we're very excited about her as well. She's a slightly smaller ship because the river in Portugal is slightly narrower and slightly shallower. So she'll be about 118 guests, I think. And then finally, our beautiful ship in Venice, the River Countess, is about to undergo the same treatment that the Bon Voyage got in Bordeaux. We're going to take her out of the water for 8 months, and about 6 months actually. We're going to return her in March, April next year as the SS La Venezia. So we're going to be super busy. The brochure you're taking home tonight actually is this one here. We've just launched it in the last week or two, and that is the SS Beatrice, which used to be the River Beatrice on the Danube, and she's been relaunched to incredible acclaim. You can see her style. She's almost a bit Hamptons in style, which is really lovely with the lighter yacht black finish and the lovely complementary fabrics on board. So where are we going with this, Alice? Okay, so here's where we sail. In Europe, we're on the main rivers of the Main, Rhine, Danube. In Europe, we also are on the 3 rivers of France, which of course are the Seine River out of Paris, the Rhône and Saône River between Lyon and Avignon, and also in Bordeaux, the Dordogne and the Garonne, which becomes the Gironde estuary. I got that right? Yeah. Okay, fine geography. Down in Portugal and Spain on the Douro. We are also in Venice on the lagoon and just on the top of the Po River as well in Venice. And we're really amping up that itinerary for 2020. We've just been given approval to dock overnight in Burano. So that's pretty exciting for us as well. So we're going to be incorporating that into our itinerary for Venice. Did I offend someone? Oh, good. And we're also on the Rhine Danube all the way down as far as Bucharest. In India, we are on what we call Mother Ganga, or the River Ganges, and we actually are on the Hooghly River there, up from Kolkata. We're here in Vietnam, which we've spoken about. We are on the Yangtze River in China. We are on the Nile River, and we're in Russia. And Russia's our 2021 project. We're going to be launching a new ship there in 2021 in conjunction actually with the Russian government, because you can't own a ship in Russia outright. So that's not in our video, but I can tell you that that's the intention at this stage. And we should have more information about that in the next, I would say 6 months. That's not me ringing, is it?
No.
No, good, okay. I've spoken a lot about Bordeaux tonight, so I'm not going to labour on this, except to say that this is all about both the food and wine of the region, the beautiful Médoc region, and then all the way down to Cadillac, Pauillac and Saint-Emilion as well, near Libourne. But we've also overlaid it with some beautiful wellness options. 2 in particular stand out for me. We think Bordeaux is one of the best natural playgrounds in Europe, and so we have included yoga off the ship up in Blaye at the Blaye Citadel, this incredible fortress up here in Blaye, built centuries ago. And for those of you that love to do a little bit of yoga, if it's nice weather, we take a yoga class up there and spend about an hour under the trees at the Citadel, enjoying that moment. On the second last day, when we're in Bordeaux, we also get our early risers out of bed at 4 a.m. They don't thank us for that, but they do thank us when we take them to Arcachon, about 60 kilometres away, to climb the highest sand dune in Europe, and overlooking the Atlantic Ocean, we are able to have that moment as the sun comes up over the sand dune, and it's the rise of dawn, and you can imagine just how spiritual that is and how well rewarded our early risers are for getting out of bed and trekking all the way up that 110 metre sand dune during the pre-dawn hours. My group were very much looking forward to it, but regrettably it rained the night before, so I was a bit shattered. I'm not sure they were, but we all got to have a lovely sleep in instead. We talked about the Bon Voyage at length. She's about 120 guests, and the big news for us is that we're able to put 4 new suites on board and lots more public open spaces and that incredible swimming pool. So if ever you were thinking about Bordeaux, this is the year to do it, because once the word gets out and people understand just how incredibly beautiful this ship is, I don't think you're going to be able to get on her much past 2020, because it's not like ocean cruising. This is not Radiance of the Seas with 4,000 guests. We only have about 60 staterooms on board our ships, and so we always encourage people to book as soon as they can, and that will give you the choice and convenience of exactly what you want and not be left with somebody else's leftovers. Burgundy and Provence always provokes lots of conversation in France. We sail both ways, Lyon to Avignon and Avignon back up to Lyon. We're happy to talk to you in more detail about this beautiful itinerary, except to say that there is nowhere more beautiful than Provence in summer, and I think the opportunity to really explore both the cities of the region, but the towns and the little local villages is just so special. And this is on the SS Catherine. Her godmother is Catherine Deneuve, of course, and this particular ship is the one that I mentioned, is very French provincial in style. This is one of her suites just here, up here in the green, and this incredible mosaic behind her beautiful indoor swimming pool. This was my first ever experience of river cruising with Uniworld after 25 years in the travel industry, and I actually came home and said to the guys, I feel like a fraud. I've spent all my years in the travel industry talking up Hawaii and Fiji and the beautiful destinations around the world that are really great for a quick break and a relaxation holiday, and yet this beautiful river cruising style of travel has been on my doorstep for 25 years, and I just did not realise how extraordinarily wonderful it was as a style of travel. And this was my very first itinerary, and although I'm very passionate about all the others, it holds a very special place in my heart. We overlay our French itineraries on some dates, probably 3 or 4 dates a year, with what we call the Connoisseur Collection. We do that because our foodie friends love to go the extra layer, and we do some truffle hunting, or we take you to La Couronne for high tea, where Julia Child, of course, had her restaurant in Rouen. We also do a fabulous sensory adventure at La Cité du Vin, which is the wine museum in Bordeaux. Lots of really interesting things for those people for whom food and wine is a real passion on our connoisseur dates. And we don't charge any more for that. We just specifically include it on those dates so that people know to look for it if they're foodies. New for 2020, we're introducing a lovely new itinerary, the Rhine, the Moselle, and blissful Baden-Baden, because we all need a bit of spa town, don't we? And Baden-Baden has a history as one of the most beautiful spa towns in Europe. So we arrive into Frankfurt, and then we coach everybody straight down to Baden-Baden for 2 nights in a fabulous hotel with some history tours of the area. But just as importantly, we do this, where's my little pointer? We do this fabulous opportunity to either go to the Caracalla Spa or the Sea Salt Grotto on that second afternoon and experience the spa waters for yourself. Then we head back up and we board the ship somewhere here near Strasbourg, as I remember. We head all the way back up to Cochem, down here to this place, I can't read it, Trier, and from Trier we have a lovely day trip into Luxembourg as well, and then back on the ship and end up in Frankfurt. So that's a fantastic itinerary for 12 days and 11 nights. Alice has included some indication of the price point for these itineraries, and from just $7,999 for 2020, you can sail with us on this itinerary, and we even include your economy class airfares on Qatar or Singapore Airlines into Frankfurt. So that's a pretty good deal, wouldn't you say? Now, if you prefer to organise your own flights, then you can. You simply deduct $1,000 discount from this price, and you're welcome to go and do your own flights. So that's one of our promotions, which I'll show you in a moment. Gems of Northern Italy, this is one of Alice's favourites, so I'm sure that's why she popped it in. This is Milan through to Venice, 2 nights in a hotel in Milan, then coaching through to Venice with the group, a chance to see Juliet's balcony along the way in Verona, and then onto the ship for an 8-day, 7-night adventure, exploring Venice in a way that you will never have done before, with the opportunity to use the ship as your oasis from what you would understand is quite a busy city these days, certainly in the summer tourist months. It's also a great way to get value in Venice. You can pull up at a local bar in Venice and find yourself having an Aperol Spritz, and I'm sure it's probably going to cost you somewhere close to 15 or 20 euros per person, and that's probably conservative. And of course, you can have an Aperol Spritz on the top ship of the deck for €0 if you prefer. So I think that's just an example of how fabulous the ship is. And there she is, the beautiful River Countess, and she's the ship that we're going to transform into the SS La Venezia for 2020. So I can't tell you more except to say that having watched this happen with 3 of our other ships, she's going to be quite something else.